So, hello guys, thanks for tuning in for our seventh meet. Today we're gonna talk about something related to industrial automation, related to designs, bill of materials included. So, SolidWorks have given a very interested and an integrated platform where you can do your design automation using various tools. We're gonna talk about one such tool which has recently come into market. I just got some insights of the tool and I found it really interesting, which captivated me and brought me here to give a presentation from it today. So like if you are belonging to a designing sector where you constantly need to do BOM automations and you feel like saying no to the project cost contingency, if you feel like redefining the approach towards the bill of materials, then you can just take the complete control over the release of the manufacturing drawings with the help of this tool named BOM Creator. BOM Creator is just like a add-in tool for your SolidWorks desktop application, which caters the day-to-day requirement of bill of materials in various departments inside the organization. It just helps you to create the bill of materials of large assemblies in minutes. Thankfully you have joined today for a very enraptured event where Mr. R Vignesh, the very founder of the OEM of this complete tool, the owner of the company named Servtronica Group of Companies, is going to give his insights, who has been helping in the industries for several years with design data security, design data automation, and design data management. So today, we really thank you, sir, for joining in with us for this session. As you can see, he's a certified expert in SolidWorks who has been helping industries in a lot of design automations and design data management products. Just give you quick insights about the BOM Creator and OEM of Servtronica Group of Companies. It's just like, as I said, it's just like an add-in tool which is present in various CAD packages apart from SolidWorks. And it helps to create a bill of materials for large assemblies in minutes. So it enables collaborate design production right from process planning, this is your PPD, process planning and development, and design development, purchases more effectively and fast track the complete manufacturing cycle. So you can see these tools caters the following 3D CAD packages, like you can integrate SAP and ERP systems. You can prepare complete material summary of machines, generate segregate reports based on the part type. You can also track reports of the project before the release of the drawings, and complete project cost contingency. You can reduce the project cost contingency with including all parameters. These are things which you can revisit a few moments. I'm letting you know just in case. So I'll just quickly toss over the screen towards to you, sir. You can just give us a very great presentation for today. And in meanwhile, I would appreciate if you could give some insights of your journey after being owner of Servtronica Group of Companies and being with the design sector since a lot of years. And can you just give me a few insights for that?
Thank you, Nikhil. Very good evening, everyone. Thank you, Nikhil, for my introduction and about the organization and about the product. Right. So first of all, I hope each one of you are staying safe and doing fine, doing healthy, right, and fighting the situation. Right. So yeah. So let me go to the presentation. Okay. So as Nikhil already told you, yes, Servtronica, about the Servtronica Group. Just still, I'll give you a 2 minutes brief about the organization and the product and what all we do, and we'll be quickly jumping to today's agenda. Right. So in case any of you have any question, any queries, please put it to your chat box. So as soon as our session completes, we'll answer all your queries. So I hope all we are right now presenting to all the mechanical engineers. Right, so it will be easy to communicate and talk on the subject. Okay, so it will be really interesting. Okay, yeah, so great. So hi, we are basically the service partner, implementation partner for Dassault Systèmes SolidWorks, and a technology partner for Siemens Technology. Right. So we began a very humble beginning just to identify the gaps in the different departments of the organization, right? So we often see in the manufacturing sector there is something delay in the production, miscommunication in the design and production department or the rest of the department. So we have formed up to just resolve these kind of issues, right? So keeping it one thing in a vision that we want to just standardize and streamline the organization workflow and protect the data from being lost or stolen. Okay. So to understand today's automation process, the BOM automation process, and the rest of the information, we must know certain set of keywords. We must be familiar to these things. So let's start with the basics. Let's go from the basic. So let's understand what is the manufacturing process is all about, right? So now when we talk about manufacturing process, what happens in manufacturing industry? What has happened is, so first of all, you get a request for quotation. So what is this request for quotation? It is an inquiry or which is received by the sales department, right? So if I may say, let's say I'm a machine manufacturer, I make a packaging machine or a special purpose machine. So I'll receive some kind of quotation or the inquiry, like people will request me submit a quotation for this project for this machine, right? So first of all, what I get is basically a RFQ. An RFQ is given to the sales department, and as soon as the sales department comes in, so this actually goes to the design development department. Why to design development department? Because it has to be checked if I have given the similar kind of machine in past 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, if we have made something similar kind of thing, or how we can make this kind of thing, right? Because any machine has to be designed and developed by a design department, right? So the major responsibility of design department becomes this making of manufacturing drawing and preparing the bill of materials, right? So then comes the store. The store basically keeps check on the inventory. So what material is available in the industry, what has to be ordered, right? So the store department keeps the complete check on these aspects. Next comes the production department. Production department's responsibility is to manufacture and fabricate complete things in a given set of time. Next is the purchase department. Purchase department is something which basically orders the raw material, hardware, beauty, etc. from the market for executing the project, right? And other department is the quality department. The quality department is supposed to check the raw material, the incoming material, right? They are supposed to check the details of incoming material if it is good enough to execute our project, and as well as they are supposed to check the finished product. When all these departments combine, we get a finished product, right? So that could be any machine, right? So majorly, the major stakeholders for any project to execute in a manufacturing organization is sales, design, development, store, production, purchase, quality. So these are the major stakeholders, right? So now, what is basically for executing manufacturing process? What do we need? What do we need to execute the project? We need manufacturing drawings as well as bill of materials. So now, bill of material is the aspect which connects all the departments. So now how does this happen, right? So let's understand what is a bill of material first of all. So we'll be talking more about the subject of bill of material today, right? So what is a bill of material? So since you all are mechanical engineers, you might be knowing what is bill of material actually, but still I'll give a brief about it. Bill of material is something, a list of information of part numbers, descriptions, material, quantity, weight, etc. Right? It's a mix of details. It basically helps us understand what are the different grades of material we are using in a machine for making this machine. It actually helps us understand what are the hardware items, what are the BOP items, the bought out items. It even serves the information to identify what are the items which are required to be fabricated in-house, what are supposed to be outsourced, right? So bill of material becomes a critical component with apart from the manufacturing drawing, because bill of material basically decides what amount of weight of material I need to procure from market for executing the project, because it has the weight details, etc. Right? So without bill of material, you cannot do your planning activity. Of course, you need manufacturing drawings for manufacturing the product, but at the same time, for planning activity, for getting what amount of weight has to be purchased, what is available with me. So everything has comes out from the bill of material. So what we have in manufacturing sectors. So normally, if you see today, more than 90% industries do have some kind of ERP or SAP system. So what is an ERP system? So this could be a new term for you, all of you, but still, like I like to tell you what is this about. Is basically ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, right? So it's basically a software which actually helps connect different departments and communicate easily. So now what a design department does is basically, as soon as they complete the manufacturing drawing, they start uploading BOMs in the ERP system, and ERP system becomes a platform of sharing the data. And now through ERP system, production is able to view the same bill of material, the quality department, the purchase department, the store, everyone is able to see this information. So this is a system which actually, so as the name states, it's an enterprise resource planning. So it's a software which helps the complete planning of the resources available in my organization. Hope I'm clear till here.
Yes.
Okay, great. So now let's come to quickly to the SolidWorks BOM. So in SolidWorks, we have 3 types of bill of material already available, right? So in SolidWorks, we have how many of you have accessed this bill of material option in SolidWorks? So the people who have used the bill of material option may know there are 3 types of bill of material. One we call is the top level BOM, which basically gives you the information about the items available in my first level of my main assembly, right? So now when I say first level, so there is a machine, so there are some items on the first level, the first where you know the design tree, right? In the first level of the design tree, if there are items available, it is reflected in my top level BOM. Next is the parts only BOM. Parts only BOM basically gives you an insight of all the SolidWorks parts available in my machine. So it could be hardware, it could be a BOP, it could be anything. Okay. And third is the indented BOM. SolidWorks indented BOM basically is the details of hierarchical BOM. So it gives you an information of a parent-child relationship, right? So if there's a subassembly, it has its child, then further subassembly, its child. So it gives you the complete hierarchical information, right? But in spite of having this already in feature available in SolidWorks, most of the manufacturing sectors face certain set of challenges. So which we have tried to jog down here. I will be discussing that. The first and the foremost thing is like the designers are spending too much time in preparing and uploading BOMs in the ERP and SAP system. So as you saw, SAP system in previous slide. So basically now it becomes a designer's responsibility to prepare the bill of material and upload it in the respective ERP or SAP system. So now how do they do it? They do it in 2 ways. Either they manually type each and every part number with respective details, like when I say part number, it could be the item name, it could be the description, it could be revision, it could be the material. So I have to type each and every item, right? So second process is what they do is basically they prepare something in Excel and directly upload it inside their ERP system. So both are manual process and a tedious job. And since it's a manual process, there are chances of mistake. And most of the organizations suffer there. So they face this challenge every time. So there are mistakes in the BOM because it is being done manually. Because when I say I'm handling 1,000-2,000 components on day-to-day basis, I will do a mistake. So that is that's natural. Okay. The second foremost challenge we saw is the chaos between the design, production, planning, purchase due to incomplete or wrong BOM. So now what do I mean incomplete or wrong BOM? So as I said, the BOM preparation is manual, right? So now if I do any mistake in my BOM, it cannot be traced the same time, right? So this mistake is identified when I'm on a production shop floor and I am short of some items, right? So this basically creates a chaos completely inside the organization. It creates a disturbance because basically eventually nobody knows what is happening, where the mistake is, who did that mistake, and eventually affects my project delivery, right? Next is the segregation of parts. So now I have a machine. It's a combination of manufacturing parts, hardware, BOP, etc. right? So now production department's initial concern becomes only the manufacturing parts, right? And the purchase department or the procurement department's initial concern is only the hardware and the BOP item, because they need to handle their respective departments, right? So now what they do is, as soon as they receive the bill of material, they are busy segregating it. So now I want to product differentiate. Basically, the production department is busy segregating their manufacturing parts required for the fabrication, and the purchase department is busy in segregating. Again, that's a manual job, tedious job, and chances of mistakes are high. So now another issue is the delay in delivery of project because of improper planning. So now what we are talking here is about is the basically every project. Say if I receive an order today, any manufacturing sector receives an order for a machine, they are supposed to deliver it in a given period of time. It could be a 3 months time, it could be a 4 months time. So every project has a set delivery date, right? So in this set of time, what I am supposed to do is I need to make the manufacturing drawings. I'm supposed to manufacture them. I'm supposed to quality check them. I'm supposed to pack them. I'm supposed to deliver it to the customer, right? So all the activity has to be done within the given span of time. So now where do we go wrong? So sometimes what happens is, most of us, we do not fabricate or procure item based on the lead time. So there is something called manufacturing lead time and the purchase lead time. So what is this manufacturing lead time? So manufacturing lead time is basically the time. Say I release a drawing today. So say it could be manufactured say in 5 days of time. If I release a drawing for a component today, so it could be manufactured say in 5 days of time. So there could be another component in the same machine which could be manufactured in say 10 days of time. There could be another component which may take 3 weeks of time to get manufactured from the date of drawing release. So every manufacturing component do have its own manufacturing lead time. Similarly, purchase lead time. So what is purchase lead time? So if a purchase department orders a hardware today, it may get delivered in say 2 weeks of time, right? So there is a component, if I order today, I'll get it in say 3 weeks of time, right? So these are basically the lead time. So when we do not plan things based on the lead time, we end up getting project delayed. Next is the tracking of release of drawings. So what is tracking of release of drawings? So now as a designer, we all are supposed to release drawings, right? So now what happens is I've released the drawing once. Sometimes the rest of the department comes in and says, no, we haven't received the drawing. Please share the drawing again, right? So, or someone says, no, I've lost it. My drawing has been damaged. Please re-release the drawing. So now as a designer, we are supposed to release again and again, right? And most of the organization have a different way of keeping a track. Either they maintain a register wherein they make the entry of release of drawing each day, or they maintain some kind of Excel wherein the complete information is filled in. So now if at any point of time I miss the entry, I lose the complete track of how many times the drawing has been issued, and we end up re-releasing multiple times to same department. Talking about the actualized costing. What is actualized costing? So now for executing a project, so there is a cost involved, right? So if I need to make a machine, so there is a cost involved, right? So it could be material, it could be the engineering cost, it could be the fabrication cost, it could be the packing, transportation, etc., right? So there are various cost components which completely drive the complete project. So if we miss any major cost component, we end up getting cost contingency of the project, right? And we see this often in the manufacturing sector. They face this challenge. They sometimes miss the most important parameter and end up getting the budget disturbed. The issue what we're going to talk about is the handling of production of multiple machines. Say again, when I'm supposed to have, say I get an order for 5, 6, 7 machines together. So now it becomes really challenging to manage the accuracy and the release of drawings and the purchase of items for multiple at the same time. So managing project accurately becomes one of the major challenges in the manufacturing sector, right? So is everything clear till here? We are in the line.
Hey guys, you can use the chat section to interact.
So you can pose a question, post your question if you have anything. right? If anything is not clear, we can answer it post presentation, right? So
Yeah,
I
that
hope
works.
my pace is okay, right? So I'm not going too fast,
Yeah.
I believe.
No. You are extremely energetic and you are great to hear.
Okay, great. Thank you. So now identifying these issues, we have come up with a solution which is called Bomb Creator. So Bomb Creator is a solution developed by our team. And this tool, as Nikhil already said, this is an add-on. This is a plugin to your SolidWorks CAD system, right? So now what this Bomb Creator does, let's quickly see what it actually does. So there you go. So this is the Bomb Creator interface. So either you can work from here or you can go here. So it is completely integrated solution to your SolidWorks CAD system. So you can work from either ways, right? So for explaining you in more detail, I'll go to the interface part wherein I can explain each and every feature, and we'll see each and every feature live. Okay. So the first option what we see here is the ERP Bomb.
So your interface is not visible to us. Probably your screen is lag. Can you just check out from your end?
It's not visible.
No.
Let me reshare it.
Good.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, right. So the first option what we see is the ERP Bomb, right? So ERP Bomb is something what we are basically giving you is like you can create a bomb which can be readily uploaded in the ERP SAP system. So now basically as we said, designers spend a lot of time in preparing in bombs in a ERP Bomb. So here what we have given is basically if your 3D design is ready, we can prepare a bomb which can be readily uploaded in the ERP or SAP system, right? So we directly integrate that, understanding and customize that as per the industry requirement. Second option is the Design Bomb. Design Bomb is nothing but an enhanced version of your SolidWorks intended bomb. So when I say enhanced version, it gives you the level detail of each and every subassembly, right, with its respective weight. And at the end of the report, we get the complete material summary. So when we talk about the material summary, so right, as I said, so in a machine, there could be different grades of material being used. Something could be stainless steel, something could be carbon steel, something could be aluminium, something could be brass. So there could be a lot of grade of material being used, right? So now a complete summary gives me an insight of how much material has to be ordered and what has to be ordered, right? So we'll see that live. Next is the part list. Part list is nothing but the segregated details of manufacturing parts. So if I want to know only the details of manufacturing parts, I can click and generate a report. Similarly, if I want to create a bought out list, I can segregate in with a click. Say if there is anything else, say if I want to add I want to know what is my sheet metal parts, or I want to know my machine parts. So anything. So if I want to if I need any kind of such kind of segregation, I can do that. Right. So let me go to the SolidWorks interface. Now let me show you how it actually works. You're able to see my SolidWorks interface?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So now here, as I said, it's fully integrated out there, right? So now as I click on ERP Bomb, it basically gives me an information. It asks me for the template or anything. So right, so these customizations can be handled. So as soon as we do that, so now you can see, so a complete ready to upload ERP Bomb is being prepared out there, right? So now these formats is being prepared based on the industry vertical or the industry requirement, right? So now we can see there is a complete material summary at the end of the report, right? So these are the different grades of material being used in the machine, and these are the respective weights, right? And this we are able to identify during the design phase itself. So now when I say design phase, when my 3D is ready, I can start preparing these kind of bombs. So now I need not wait to release my drawings. to be able to release my bill of material, right? Going further, let me say, if I want to create the design BOM, again with a click I can create the complete report, a complete level by level detail. As I said, it's an enhanced version of it, right? So there you go, right? So you get the complete BOM in a click and with complete respective and representable format, right? So again, as I said, these formats can be customized as per your requirement, your industry requirement, as the industries, right? So now this communicates, this actually process is automated, as we say. So we are trying to save a lot of time which is otherwise being wasted in waiting, right? And another interesting thing I would like to show you is, like, say if I want to add some images to my BOM, right? So I'll prepare my part list here, and which I want some images out there. So I can click and prepare a BOM with images, right? So this image BOM basically helps me give a glimpse of the item to the production department, and even helps me understand what the part is all about, right? Interesting, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I can put, if I want to put some images on my BOM, I can put those images down there and I can share it with the department. So this keeps a clear, transparent picture and communication. Similarly, I have the bought out BOM, right? Again, everything is being created in a click, right? So I need not wait for everything. Everything is being, so now I get the details of only the hardware items, the bought out items. You can see that, right? So segregation is simplified. So now you need not wait, or you need not spend manually applying filters on the Excel, on the big Excels, right? So it's a click of a button and you have the complete report down there. Let's go further. Talking about the priority part list. Next option what you see is the priority part list. So as we have been talking during the course of presentation, right there, every manufacturing component has its own manufacturing lead time, right? So now as I say, there are 1,000 component machine, there are 2,000 component machine. So now there could be different components with different manufacturing lead time. So now as a designer or as a planning person, what I will do is basically I will take items first which will take more time to get manufactured, right? I'll take the item next which will take average time to get manufactured. I will consider the items getting manufactured in short time at the end, right? So basically just to keep a more buffer for the items taking longer time, right? So that is the reason I consider them first. So here what we are doing is basically we are categorizing in high, medium, low priority things. So now high priority, the items taking longer time to get manufactured would be part of my high priority list. Items taking average manufacturing time to get manufactured would be part of my medium priority list. Item taking the least time to get manufactured would be part of my low priority list, right? So this helps me keep a complete proper plan, so that, and now I do not have any chance of my project getting delayed, right? Similarly, it goes for the bought out items. If I want to order a pneumatic cylinder today, right? So it will take say 3 weeks to get delivered, right? My project delivery date is say 4 months. So I need to plan it. So I need to have it within some certain sort of span of time. So the purchase department easily, so it goes for the same. So items taking longer time to get delivered will be ordered first. The items taking lesser time to get delivered would be ordered last. So now we can categorize it based on my orders on my machine, and I can just start releasing these reports. So this eases again my complete planning activity. So there you go. If I say I want to click and create a high priority list BOM, so it gives me the details of item, right? So the part-wise bill of material and high priority. So these are my high priority items. So I need to release these drawings first to get manufactured, right? Similarly, if I want to know high priority bought out items, so I can just again click and get the details of items which are required to be ordered first, right? So now planning simplified, again saving of time, right? Going further, we were talking about the release of drawings, right? So now we have different departments. Design is supposed to release the drawings again and again, right? So now, there could be different departments of production, purchase, quality, and any other department. So now, as a designer, it's my job to make drawings and release, but I'm not supposed to release them again and again, right? So this feature will help you keep a track of everything. So now this gives you an information to whom you have given the drawings, how many times you have given the drawings, right? And which date did you last release? And all the information is being saved in my SolidWorks file. So all the information is saved in my SolidWorks file, and I get the complete details of issue details, the details of drawing, which is being released to which department, right? So issued to production. So these are the parts which have already been issued to production department, right? So how many times, what is my new issue number, what was my previous issue number, everything is in a click of a button. I can see, I can tell them, please check at your end, because these drawings have already been released, right? And to which person, that also information can be retrieved out there. So I want to know issue to quality. So this is the issue to quality details. So now keeping registers, Excel is not important now. So now everything information is on your SolidWorks file, right? So easy to keep, easy to track, and easy to update, easy to maintain. Again, saving a lot of time. There's an option called issue to none, right? So what is this option is all about? So now, as I said, so as a designer, say we are making a 2000, 3000 component machine, right? So now designers normally, as they function, they do not release all the drawings in a one go. They partially sometimes release the drawing so that initial production activity can start, right? So now, so they partially release, say there's a 1000 component machine, so they release 200 drawings today, they release the 300 drawings next day, and say after 3 days they release another 500 drawings, right? So they're partially releasing these drawings. So at one stage of time, I do not realize what are the drawings I've already released and what are the drawings which are left to be released, right? Since it's a huge assembly, I forgot what all things I've released. So this issue to none will help you track the information of details which have not been released yet. Then the drawings which are not released yet will be only released during that stage, right? So again, as I said, it's a complete keep of track and everything is maintained out there. Next, talking about the fabrication place, in-house and outsource. So I want to segregate them. I want to identify what are required to be manufactured in-house, what are required to be outsourced. And again, it's a click of a button, I can get these details. One of the decorated and one of the delightful feature, what we say, this is one of my favorite feature, the project costing. So now, why this is favorite to me, basically now. So now project costing comes in two stages, right? So in a manufacturing sector, we are at 2 stages of time, we are required to do the project costing. We are required to estimate the cost of a project. The stage 1 is when, as I said, when I receive an inquiry. So now from market, someone asks me, what's the price of your machine, right? So at that stage, I need to answer them with a quotation. And second stage is like I've executed my project and I want to know if I have met my profits or not, right? So there are 2 stages when I'm supposed to do my costing. Okay. So now this feature allows you to consider all the necessary information for executing the project. So when I say all the necessary information, right? So the major parameters which drive the project cost is like the fabrication, the engineering, packing, transportation, right? The bought out, etc. So these are the major parameters which basically drives the project cost. So here what we are doing is we are covering everything. What we do is basically now we try to cover each and every item, each and everything, each and every aspect of the project, and we make sure that we do not miss any cost component, which later gives any kind of cost contingency, right? We have been talking about the cost contingency, right? So now this basically helps me cover each and everything and completely in budget. Now my project will always be in budget and I'll make a decent profit every time when I do my project costing perfectly fine. So based on the size of the assembly, it takes a little bit of time. So now what it does is basically fabrication cost covers the material, operation and the handling charges basically, Engineering cost basically say like the design engineers, the design engineering hours, right? So now every project, every designer is supposed to deliver the project in certain set of time, right? So now if I want to I say it could be a 150-hour job, it could be a 200-hour job, it could be 50 hours job, it could be anything, right? So based on the size of the assembly, based on the components of the assembly, right? Next comes in, and in engineering also we can include the FEA charges. When I say calculation, if they say I need to do some kind of structural calculation, or I want to do some kind of CFD calculation, that also comes inside my engineering cost. Next is the packing cost. So now if I have a machine, I need to pack it, right, so that I can deliver it. So now the items, the machine components are packed in a different kind of boxes, right? So there are box sizes and the cubic feet cost involved, and everything we cover it, right? Last is the transportation. So now it has to be transported from my end.
Hello? So can you check the interface from your end? Again, it's lagged, I guess.
No, it's not lagged. Basically, so it's taking some process. Okay, process time is the process time. We wait for a while. You will be So now you're able to see it, right?
Yeah.
So it was actually the processing time actually. Okay, so it wasn't a lag. Okay, so now so there you go. So these are the basically, so I picked up an assembly and it has given me the details of material with their respective weight. So now what as a designer I am supposed to do is I need to key in the per kg cost. So now what is this per kg cost? Per kg cost is basically my material cost, labor cost, handling charges, operation welding, surface treatment, etc. Right? All these costs is covered in my per kg cost. Right? I just put some random cost right here. Okay. So it could vary industry to industry. Every industry will have their own standard prices, right, for getting any project done. Right, 60 and say aluminum will cost 200. Okay, so that's my per kg cost, right? Next is the engineering. So I'll put, say, I have some design engineering. I say I need 150 hours to complete this job, and my per hour engineering cost is 300 rupees an hour, right? Next I say I want to do some kind of structural calculation. Say that's a 50-hour job and my per hour cost is like 500 rupees, right? Next is the packing, as I said. So in packing we have two types of packing. One is the roadworthy packing and another is the seaworthy packing. So what is a roadworthy packing and a seaworthy packing? Roadworthy packing is for domestic orders. So right, I need to transport something from Mumbai to Delhi. So that would be a roadworthy packing. I need to pack my machine in a roadworthy packing. So if I need to ship something from my Mumbai to say US, so I need to do a seaworthy packing, right? So basically the seaworthy packing basically is fit for containerized packing for shipping, right? So let's say I want to do a roadworthy packing out there. Okay, so I need to transport my material from Delhi to Mumbai, say. So that's the size of my box. I just put my size of my box, say 100 by 100 by 50, and number of boxes I need, I say 3 number of boxes, and per cost per cubic feet, cost per CFT, the cost of packing is done based on the cubic feet, right? So I'll say 30 rupees per cubic feet, right? So that's the packing part. Last is the transportation. So now I need a vehicle to transport. So it could be a truck, it could be a container, it could be anything. So let's say I put a 40 feet truck, right? And I need one vehicle, and my per vehicle cost is like 1,20,000. Okay. And I say go and create report. So as soon as I click on it, so I get my complete report out there. So this is my material cost, that's my engineering cost, that's my packing cost, and that's my transportation cost, and that's my total project cost. So now we have calculated complete project cost with a click of a button and considering all the necessary parameters, right? So there are no chances of mismatch of cost. There's no chance we miss anything, right? One of the last features comparison of machines. So now this feature comes in when I have multiple orders to handle, right? I have multiple projects to handle. I get 5, 6, 7 machines together. So now if any manufacturing company, what happens is they have certain set of components common in the machines. So when I say common, what do I mean? So now there are say 3 machines A, B, C, right? So all the 3 are the variants of another model of machine, right? So there are slight changes in all the 3 machines, but there's always a possibility there are a lot of components which are in common, right? So now what as a practice we do is basically what we do is plan each project individually. We have an individual project manager for each project, and the drawings are released individually for each project. And at the end, what happens is we get lot of material scrap, unknowingly, right? So now what we are giving is provision to compare your 5 projects at a time, maximum 5 projects at a time, and identify what are my common and unique components. And how does this help? So now, say if I plan my common components together, I tend to get lesser scrap. Let's take an example. There are 3 orders, as I said, A, B, C, right? So machine A has a component X placed, which say in 10 numbers. There is a project B which has component X in say 25 numbers, and there is a machine C which has components say in 10 numbers, right? So now I plan A separately, B separately, and C separately. So when I'm planning 5 components, I tend to get more scrap material. When I'm sitting to plan 25 items, I tend to get lesser scrap. When I plan say 10 items at a time, so I'll average scrap, right? So now what if I say combine this 25 plus 10 plus 5? So I tend to save a lot of material to my organization, which is a huge cost saving to my organization. So here what we're doing basically comparing, helping organization compare and identify the common and the unique parts. And hence, so now what will happen is basically now the common components have to be released only once. They need not to be released multiple times, right? So here at the bottom you can see the progress bar. So it shows the progress, how much time it has done, so how much information has been read, right? So now this basically helps you again releasing. You can save a lot of paper out there. You can save again a lot of time out there, and of course you're saving a lot of material scrap. So which is a huge saving to any manufacturing industry, right? So you cannot browse multiple machines at the same time. So you have to browse one after the other, right? So first is in process. So as soon as the first is done, I'll browse the second, and we can have the lists out there, right? You can see what actually we are trying to do. We have basically tried to cover all the manufacturing gaps, basically, which we as a designer or a manufacturing organization are facing in day-to-day life, right? So this basically caters you to save a lot of, as I say again, we are talking about time. So that's the reason we say automation of bill of material. Currently, we're just trying to automate the process out there. So we can automate the process, and we are basically say that your job which you have been doing in say 10 days of time, we are reducing it to 2 days, right? So we are saving 8 days to the manufacturing organization, and saving of 8 days is a very variable, and we all say that time is money, right? So that is a huge saving again. So it's a resource saving, it's a material saving, and of course paper, everything, efforts, right? So it actually takes the reading of the assemblies takes based on the size of the assembly. So as much as the big is assembly, so it will take that much time, right? So right now we'll be doing it for only two machines, 2 projects, and we'll be comparing. We'll be showing you the output, what we are getting, and after this we can take the question answering. So give me another 2 minutes. So I'll be showing you the reports, and we can take up the question answering, right? So that it has been read. So I'll say I want to compare parts, right? So there you go. So this information says this is comparison of these 2 machines, and these are the common items, these are the unique items. So now these are the respective quantity in individual machine, and this is the total quantity. So this report gives a clear information to the production department that how many items they got to manufacture and how many got to be assembled in respective machine. Right? So this is a huge time saver, huge scrap saving, and huge, right, process and planning. Right? So there you go. So there's the common hardware items, right? So these are the common and the unique item, right? So now what benefit out there I get it? Basically the purchase department, if you place a volume order, I tend to get a volume cost benefit to the organization. Again, it's a saving, right? So this is it from my side. So you can go ahead and ask your questions and queries if you have any.
Yeah, we can see the chat section is filled with few queries.
Okay, right. Also, there is a question from Mr. Sumit. He says, can we directly link project cost or other data which are in SolidWorks sustainability to this BOM? Not really. Basically, this costing is completely separate thing. So we are not talking about sustainability here. We are just talking about the project costing, right? So that's a sustainable material what you're talking, right? The selection of material selection in the terms of the sustainability, environment friendly material. So here we are not doing that. So we are already understanding that basically this is a material what I need to get manufactured in my organization. What are the items, right? And what is the individual cost of the machine or individual material? That's what we are talking about here, right? Have I answered your question, Sumit?
Yep. So the next one from.
So there is another question which says, does it also include running cost? Mr. Divyaraj, can you please brief what are you actually meaning by running cost?
Like he was asking while you were explaining the project costing, so we can include the running cost right there.
Running cost as in, what do you mean by running cost? What are you trying to mean here?
Can you just elaborate for us, Divyaraj?
You can unmute your mic and you can even speak.
Hello, I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about the running cost, like a maintenance cost, and the other like a cost is the extra cost when we
that is covered under the fabrication cost. So when I said I'm considering say 130 rupees a kilo, right? So the part of it is the material cost, rest is the handling, maintenance, operation, etc. Right? So that's a lump sum cost to my organization, including my margin, right?
Can be separate? Can be displayed separately?
Yes, you can do that. You can do that. You can add. You can make another parameter which you can call as a maintenance. That also can also be done. That can be customized as per your requirement. That can also be done. If you want it as separate, that can also be done.
And how can we customize that things?
So that customization part would be done by our team. Okay, so you tell us a requirement, we do the customization. Okay. So next question is like, I'm not able to view BOM creator in my SolidWorks add-in. How do I? Oh, okay. So this BOM creator doesn't come along with SolidWorks. So this has to be purchased separately, Vedant. So it doesn't come along with your SolidWorks. This is a separate product. This separate add-on product we need to be purchased separately. So this is a top up to your SolidWorks CAD system.
Yeah, and what about your integration with the partnering with the Dassault systems? Like, is it on the way, right?
So basically, we are already a service partner and implementation partner, as I said already. Okay. And apart from that, we have applied for this as a partner status for this solution partner status for our product. So we have already received it from Siemens. We have already received the partner status from the Siemens. We are yet to receive be authorized from the Dassault. So we are just the application, as I said, is in process. Yeah.
Cool.
So there's some question from Mr. Mahesh Gaikwad. Sir, if I want all manufacturing parts like sheet metal machining hardware in order in Excel Yes, we can. We can have it. We can, as I said, we can do any kind of segregation as you need, and you can just filter it out of your machine, out of your machine, right? Yeah, and another question from Mr. Manik Gupta. It says, can I also tell number of bends in fabrication detail? So it's not there. Yes, again, we will have to do some kind of customization for you. So that can be handled. Again, if you want some details on number of bends or something, we can do that. We can handle it. Again, look, there are certain sort of things which are already inbuilt. You can use it from the day one. There are certain sort of information which may require to be customized as per your industry requirement. That can be done. Those customizations can be handled. Right.
Any other doubt, guys? Yeah, Shubham, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, suppose our project is, it is carried out entirely properly, and if there are any uncertainties on site during installation or anything, and if we have to redesign some parts, so how can we incorporate it in this add-on thing, and will the Excel sheet updated automatically if we change anything?
No, the Excel is not updated automatically.
We have to recreate it and share it with all the departments.
Yes, absolutely. You have to recreate and revisions are maintained.
Revised, yes. Okay.
Right. So there will be a revision maintained, and it would give you the difference between the first BOM and the second BOM.
Okay.
So what are the changes that can be highlighted out there, right?
Okay.
So the complete BOM management is being handled out there. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. So there is another question from Mr. Mahesh Backward again. So can I get the part rate individually for client clarification? Look, you can do it as you wish. Basically, look, we have put in certain set of cost parameters, required parameters out there. So if you want to recustomize, reorganize those cost things, that can be done. So if you want an individual part cost, if you want an individual operation cost, that can be customized for you, right? So basically, understanding based on the natural practice of the organization, we have prepared some solution. So if you need some kind of fine tuning, that can be handled, of course. So this is a completely flexible software and easy to handle.
Okay, so based on the customization required by your clients, you can make this software customized according to their requirements, right?
Absolutely.
So what if any educational sector, like any college, have to purchase the tool for their educational purpose for presentation? So what kind of ways or workflow they need to follow?
Look, right now we are trying to get into Udemy. So wherein we are trying to promote, and we are trying to educate the mechanical engineers in the subject of manufacturing process, right? Because so we are trying to collaborate with the education institute for the education version, wherein we can also provide the license as well as the training to use it and educate them what actually happens in the manufacturing sector, right? So as a mechanical engineer, say I'm a third year student or a fourth year student, what normally the challenge I face is I normally tend to see that what software I know, right? The learning of software is one thing, but learning of the process is the another thing. So the process information is more important than learning any other kind of software, right? So you must know what drawing you're actually making. So look, the software is just a tool. Any software is just a tool, right? So you need to have the understanding of clear manufacturing process and the manufacturing items. So how things flow, right? Where I can save time, where I can save material. So that is the more important aspect, right? So those are the things what we are trying to promote and educate people. Okay. So yes, we are trying to collaborate with the education institute. So wherein we majorly want to do is basically we want to talk to the college management, who can get in touch with us, right? And we can start up a process wherein we can give you the licenses to use and educate you basically the complete subject of the manufacturing, which actually which is not a part of our regular curriculum, right? in college curriculum also we do not have anything which we are talking about the SAP system, or we do not have the curriculum to plan how the planning activity is being done. So all those things can be taught out there.
Cool, that's great.
So anyone want to reach us out, they can always reach us out, any education institute. If they want us to collaborate with them, they want the software, they want to learn anything out there, so you can always contact us. I'm just sharing my details out there. You can write a mail to me or you can call me, right? Nikhil already has my contact details, right? So any education institute, so we would like to get in touch with the management people so that we can understand and we can clearly communicate things, right? So if Nikhil also does have my contact details, you can get it from him, or else you can there's a mail ID and my phone number. You can contact me directly for any kind of such requirement.
Yes, Sumit is asking a question which many of might have in their heads right now. Like in future, will it be available on the desktop application of SolidWorks?
Not sure. So if SolidWorks purchases the software from us, could be possible. So right now it's an independent software. Yeah. Can't say. Can't predict the future.
Hopefully it does.
Oh, great.
Okay, so any other question, guys? Yeah, we have one question
Mahesh,
from
thank you.
Mahesh.
Yeah. So it's just a feedback, I think, right? Thank you, Mahesh. Even I love that feature.
Yeah. A last question, anyone? If you have any. Okay, so someone had asked me about the Akruti competition. Yeah, the registration process is ongoing and it's valid till like 15th of July. So you can quickly check it from your official website. Also, if you would like to have a note on the previous sessions, and if you don't have to miss any, you can quickly check the previous sessions. I have dropped the link in the comment section.
Hi,
Cool.
Nikhil.
Yeah, hello.
Shubham, is this session recorded?
Yeah, the session is recorded.
Please, can you share it after?
Yeah, sure. You can check the session in the same channel out there. I mentioned the link. Can you see it in the description?
Yeah.
Cool. And this is the and this is the link where you can just register for the Akruti competition. The competition will start probably in a month or so. Till then, you can just register. You can form your teams and follow the contest timelines and guidelines posted from time to time in the community. So you can see all the official rules for the competitions on their website. You can download the PDF, and in the meanwhile, you can also get access to the 3D Experience roles, basically 3D Experience SolidWorks roles and the 3D Experience Engineer role, which will cover a lot of roles in between them, like the X-Shape and X-Design. So for the competition, you can use those platforms. It would be very appreciated from the 3ds team. Meanwhile, if you have any doubts with the session or anything related to that, you can ask. Yeah, Sumit, I have just shared the link with you. Just go to the link and you can see here, this page will pop up. You can get a quick insight about the Akruti competition. You can get insights about the topics which we have, a detailed explanation about what is expected from you as a student, and then you will also have some insights about the exciting prizes from the Akruti. Obviously, the winning team also have great prizes. Also, the participants are very appreciated, and you have all the basic details about the competitions right from the registration and the access to the community. So you will be, get a personalized invitation from the 3D Experience team, 3ds team, to the private community on the 3DX platform, 3D Experience platform. So you can get some insights of the competitions, everything. You can click over the register button, and as you can see, yeah, so the registration platform is open. So by agreeing the terms, you can go forward, write your name, fill in the details correctly, and then you can go ahead filling out the form, make a team of about maximum 4 members, and minimum you can get at least 2, and just fill out the form with the official rules which are available on the portal, and then you're good to go. So it's a national wide design competition. I would really appreciate if you could participate in huge number. You can promote it amongst your friends, and do share the session with all your friends if they might feel interested to attend the previous sessions. You can join the meetup group. The link is shared on my LinkedIn platform, or you can share the link of all the meetups from the meetup group. So is there anything you want me to answer? Okay, so with that said, guys, I think we are done for the session. Thanks for such an awesome session, sir. We really appreciate your efforts.
Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you everyone for your time. And please take care. Stay healthy.